everyone, it's Erica, and I didn't really plan to make a video, but I'm going to because I feel like a lot of people could benefit from hearing this message. And this message, this video has to do with as you are raising your consciousness, you start to become fully aware, little by little, of the programming that has been embedded into you since birth, since before birth. And you're almost like, oh, wow, I am really tracing this back now. Okay, so here's an example from my own life without getting into too much detail. I am noticing that emotionally abusive, negative patterns and self-beliefs have been programmed into me by my father and I guess both parents in general. I guess it's kind of going all the way back. And those patterns have reflected in what I've been calling in for almost my entire life because I had no idea about this. So, if you're interested in manifesting, if you're interested in healing, if you're interested in raising consciousness and learning how to unravel, you may be interested in this video. So I've been watching and learning a ton about manifesting. I've manifested successfully. Some people, like I was super shocked when somebody on my Facebook literally told me I was a master manifester because I feel like I can be when I'm in my preferred mindset, my preferred reality. And there's certain things I manifest no matter what, okay? Like, you know how like Jasmine talks about, oh, parking spots, that is never a thing for her. She's trained herself and ingrained finding easy parking spots. So far deep rooted into her system, it doesn't matter what else she's doing, like that parking spot's already there because that's just a thing for her now, My thing is that it seems like no matter what I purchase, I always end up with like way more or like some killer deals. So that's kind of already been ingrained with me. And I'm good if I concentrate. Like I did manifest my dream car. I somehow manifested my dream kitten and I didn't even know it. Like literally when I was about 11 or 12, I used to babysit. Now, I'm not going to give away my age because I'm nowhere even near over 21, but there used to be a time when it was completely socially acceptable to let like 10, 11-year-olds babysit kids. Like all day long, ordering pizzas, running up to the store, grabbing candy. Like, yeah, it was a whole thing. But anyways, this little girl, and I loved all the kids I babysat, except for that there's a couple psychos sometimes. Kids can be crazy. But this little girl I babysat that lived around the corner from me had such a cute kitten. And it was a Himalayan blue. And I always said, wow, that is the cutest kitty ever. Like, I loved the style. There's so many different breeds or mixtures of like beautiful cats, but that one has always kind of caught my eye. And I don't know. And then there's like a regular Himalayan too, which is what I got. But Um, that how years ago I had, put that into my heart. And then randomly, a friend from Facebook who I had known quite a long time, like found this kitten for me. And she's like, oh my gosh, 'cause people are like on, oh my God, that's expensive. That's a Himalayan. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, so that's my kitty, and she came to me. She was a backyard alley cat. Um, she was born unto a backyard alley cat who my friend had like given some shelter to in her garage for these cold months, and out comes this beautiful little Himalayan cat, you know what I mean? And tiny baby kitty. So I somehow manifested that without even trying, and that was like a years ago manifestation. But here's kind of the point of the video. What you are saying over and over yourself in your head is copying and doubling, okay? Copying and doubling. Copying and doubling, okay? So when you are using your conscious brain, like how we're having a conversation right now, we're talking, when you're using your conscious thinking brain and being super positive, that's only one portion of it. Okay, because you can do things like we all know. How many of you have been, say washing dishes, but you're not thinking about washing the dishes. You have your brain on something else. Your brain is worrying about a relationship, or if your brain is thinking about anything negative, which they say people don't even realize that 80% of what they think is negativity. Okay, and when you really stop to think about it and start like, oh my God, this is what I've been programming myself with. And it's all truly there inside of you. But here's the thing, you didn't program yourself. You come here perfect. You come here love and light. It's what your experience is programming into you. So you can be doing something, those dishes are still getting washed. It's not an issue. But, your brain is putting yourself into a negative spiral. So with everything I've been doing is being able to catch myself. So there's two parts to this. You can catch your thinking mind. You can catch that thinking mind. You're like, oh, oh, this is going to be a horrible day, saying something like that. Like, stop that. Like, when you say that, no, 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 I'm going to make the best of this day. I'm going to see to it that I use my time the best I can with this day that I was given and continue on my journey of being an amazing person. That's what you got to keep saying. That's what you got to keep saying. So say you've mastered that, okay? So you've mastered that already. Now, if this is a whole new concept to you, you may need to start further back from the very beginning, which is catching those thoughts. Hold on. Okay. So which is catching your thoughts. So as you're doing things kind of aimlessly, driving or walking around the house, picking up clothes, it seems like it's perfectly normal during those moments. People will be like, oh, fuck this, or, oh my God, this is annoying, or, whatever, like, and if you are saying that and you are thinking that and you are feeling that, then that's what it's going to be. And then once you're like, you know what, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try to do this positive thinking, right? So you can be like, okay, take a deep breath. Everything's going good. Everything's working out. I'm getting through my day easily. Like, just talking positive to yourself, okay? That's kind of one of the first steps. Now, if you've never heard anything positive, that's going to be really weird to you. Like, but do it anyways. Because, see, that was me. I don't think I've ever heard anything positive. Maybe once or twice, but no. It's always been something bad or negative. So when I started to like get into this and realizing that if this mindset doesn't change, I'm going to keep calling in the same thing, and like, fuck no, ever, never, ever, ever. You got to take that programming and get rid of it one by one. So in the conscious mind, that's only one part of it. You got to do your subconscious mind too. And the whole thing that sparked me getting this video was like having the higher awareness and looking into a situation that's going on, and you're like, oh, so I noticed something that he's saying has been programmed as a deep part of my subconscious. And it was almost like deja vu when I could hear this person saying this thing and recalling the other person that I had called in saying that same thing. And I'm thinking, wow, this is true. I have called in repetitive patterns with men, repetitive thought patterns, with toxic masculinity, maybe even some toxic femininity, because we both need to have a balance. You know, we have to have our yin and our yang balance, the black, the white, the male, the female within all of us, in order to be completely at balance with ourselves, so that we can call in our true balance. And then once those get together, then as two beings together as one whole, that shift can balance, and the masculine can be masculine, the feminine can be true feminine once again. But until you get there, then it's like you've got to get the perfect balance inside of your own soul. That's why so many people say the twin is within, because until you have it inside, it can't materialize in the 3D earth. So, getting back to, this is why it is very important to not only reprogram your conscious thinking mind, but also to get into your subconscious, deep-rooted wounding and programming, especially if you really are looking to achieve that balance. So the first thing you got to do is clear all that out. Well, no, you got to identify it. That's the thing. Now, this is why sometimes you need a coach, okay? If anybody is looking for personal one-on-one coaching to identify their core wound, you guys can message me. What I do is I take your specific needs, put them into a unique package, and then we get that going for you. So sometimes everybody is different. I do have like some pre-packaged transmissions and stuff already ready. But so yeah. So you need to first identify what the programming is. And so now this was like a big awakening and a big realization when I heard this person say that, and realizing that, wow, that really does have an effect. you are calling in what you're programmed with. No matter how positive and in belief your conscious mind may be, you've got to get in there to the subconscious. Both are important, but I think the subconscious may even be more important, because if your subconscious has it deep rooted, oh, I already know what's working out, I already know things are working out for me, then here on the 3D conscious level, you'd be like, oh, I am having a bad day. I'm like, but deeply rooted, ingrained, no matter how I feel or what kind of a day I have, I know that my ultimate desires are flowing to me. No matter what I do, and no matter if I have a tired day or a non-productive day, that's not stopping me from calling in my amazing manifestations. Okay, so you might be kind of slumped over, just having a tired day, allowing, because we have days like that, especially when we are very powerful empaths. There are days when there's so many downloads and energies just flowing into you that you do need to rest in bed. It's like, that's just what you need to do. But then you have that deep-rooted belief that no matter what happens, everything's always working out for me. Well, what happens if that's switched? What happens if your deep-rooted belief is, oh, it doesn't matter what I try, nothing's ever going to work for me? Okay? I don't even like saying that, because I feel like, oh, I don't want to put that into myself. What if that's your core belief? And here you're thinking with your mind, oh, if I do this, I'm getting closer. If I do this, I'm getting closer. But if your core belief is still, I'm not worthy, I'm not allowed for this, then nothing you do in your positive mind thinking is going to change anything. And that's where I kind of feel like I have really to be needed cleared. So now that I've had this realization, it makes me want to do a super, super deep clearing, because if I even heard this person say that, and I had already heard the other person that I called in say that, that means that that's somewhere inside of me, probably from him saying it before. Maybe I wasn't even listening or paying attention. But this is the kind of traits. If you've been fed with toxicity your entire being on this planet, just literally injected, spoon-fed, mentally fed toxicity, that's all that's in you. And that's all that can keep getting called in. And your deep-rooted belief might be so deep that no matter what you're doing on this upper thinking level, until you get rid of that core belief that says, I'm not good enough for this, I'm not worthy of this, it's not going to really matter what you do. I mean, you might feel a little better just because positivity is nice, but it's not going to change your life. And not only this, it's maybe not only that put on there from people. It could be coding. It could be entities. It could be energies, whatever. Implants. If you feel like this could be the case for you, you should message me, because I did do a powerful, powerful transmission to clear any dark coding entities, energies to clear out of our body and our subconscious once and for all. In fact, I should listen to that. Listen to my own self, because that was powerful. But like I said, identifying that core belief. There could be several core beliefs. You could have a core belief around every subject in your entire life. So, I mean, it's a lot of clearing, a lot of clearing. But then once you get these things clear, you can start calling in other things. Once you clear out, once you, pick these wounds up out and get rid of them, you're allowing just a little more space for a little bit more better, okay? You're allowing just a little bit more free energy to roam around that could call in something more, okay? So healing is a process. It is a never-ending thing, but I do believe once you get to a certain point, it's like, they say you started at the bottom or whatever, but like if you start even below the bottom, getting to the bottom, neutrality, that's also something to be proud of getting there, neutrality in and of itself is just, it is so much better than the negativity. Okay, so if you are still working your way up, keep going. Keep going. What's been helping me a lot is, of course, people on YouTube. Steve Noble. He is definitely a famous, he does transmissions. That's where I kind of got the idea for doing some transmissions. Him and a couple other ladies, but transmissions are powerful, okay? When we do a transmission, we are calling in these energies and like healing you throughout all time, space, reality, and other dimensions right there while you lay in that bed. So I love transmissions for healing and anything. It almost seems to me too, when you're trying to get to that core belief that you want to get rid of, it almost feels like you have to go and pick out like lots of little other shitty beliefs here and there to even get to that one. Like you can't go straight to it. Yeah, you can't get straight to it. I think I'm still looking to get rid of mine. Either that or maybe I'm just waiting on divine timing. So either one of those could be a possibility. I know I've been working really hard, they say a brain surgeon can't operate on himself. So, I mean, I do, actually, I'm in another program too with Sarah Ashley. I love her program. So I'm thinking that might really help too. But it seems like there's always something to be cleared. And then you notice yourself calling in like something different. I think that's when it's going to be noticeable to you that your mindset has changed. And this is going to be really interesting because they're saying you're the god of your reality. Everything is you pushed out. So basically, let's just say to make it not too personally, here's what you do. Say if your plan is to reach out to a parent to get some kind of a loving, caring response. But this has never happened in your entire life, okay? You have a core belief that if I ask them, if I talk to them, it's going to be a negative, hurtful experience. That's the core belief, okay? So then you try again on your 3D reality. You try again. Oh, hi, reaching out to the parent, hoping for the loving interaction, but knowing full well in your core belief, every time I talk to them, it's hurtful. I have no trust, no love there. If these are your core beliefs, then that phone call, it's not going to do anything. That's where it gets really tricky, because they say when you're trying to manifest your new reality, you're getting these specific people in your reality to be a certain way towards you. So now that I had the phone call, was thinking, oh, is it time for a positive interaction with a parent? Having the phone call, no, it wasn't a positive interaction. My core belief is still that every time I talk to them, it's hurtful. There's no love there. This is still my core belief. So I have to get rid of that core belief somehow, get it out of me, and have such a belief that it's that wasn't even there. And when I truly, truly feel and believe that, I have a phone call or an interaction with one of my parents, and it will be positive because I have figured out a way to get that core belief all the way out of there. And they say when that core belief is out of there, it will not even be a second question. You'll just so naturally just reach out, because the kind of person who would reach out to have a loving interaction with their parents is the kind of person who just always had that from the second they were born. So sometimes you have to get into other realms and other timelines and try to see, reparent yourself in certain situations that had set you up for your core belief. Going under for some hypnosis, reliving past memories. Like I recalled a memory where I was 2 years old that something had happened, and I stood back and watched it happen from my adult self. And then as I could see what little 2-year-old me would have wanted, I decided to replay the scene in my head and redo that. This may cut off. But essentially, you can take any kind of situation that's happened in your past, redo it to give you a positive core belief about it, and then it should start changing your belief system, okay? If anybody has any comments about any of this, please comment below. I hope this was helpful to someone, and more coming, okay? Thanks. Bye.